Good morning, my beautiful people. How is everybody's morning starting out? It is still pretty early. I have been going since super early, since super early for me. So I was up at 5:15 and then I yogaed and then I came home and I showered and I'm getting ready to go to the chiropractor and then run and spend some time with one of my favorite kiddos today. So I am excited. I did not get a great night's sleep last night, though. I did not get a great night's sleep because, why did I not get a great night's sleep? Because last night I had the privilege to do one of my tantric integration pujas, and it really is one of my favorite things. It is becoming one of my favorite things to do and groups, because the healing and the vulnerability and the depth is so incredibly beautiful in these events. And so last night, I had the privilege to work with 11 other people. Yeah, it was 11 other people on this event. And it was on pleasure, joy, and lust. And it was funny because how I viewed it going is not how it goes. These are very fluid, flowing kind of puja events. And as we got into it, it became apparently clear that yes, we were talking about pleasure. But before we got to talking about the pleasure, before we got to the sun rising, we had to talk about all the ickiness, the stuff that was keeping us back. And so this morning, as I was coming down the stairs after showering, hence why my hair is still wet, the sun was just coming up, and I have this place on my stairs right here where as the sun comes up, I just see it perfectly. It's just like the perfect place to sit in the sun for a second and just take in that gorgeous morning sun. And I was thinking about last night and how the beautiful deep sharing that I was blessed to get to kind of guide people through, but also to just witness and watch as well. This deep, really, really powerful vulnerability. And it was that everybody was entering a little bit of their shadowland. Everybody was digging into some of the yuckiness, and we'll call it yuckiness, but basically our shadows a little bit, to step more into their pleasure, because we like to think we can just go for the pleasure. And I would love to sit here and go, yes, you can have the pleasure without any pain, without doing any work, without doing anything. And while I think that if you've done the work, you don't always have to keep working. And sometimes the work doesn't feel like work. Sometimes the work is just internal. Most of the work is just internal. It is connecting with self. It is tuning into our own stuff and looking at it and looking at ourselves with us from a state of love, joy, compassion, while we are looking at these difficult points in our lives. Otherwise, we do get to this point where we can't bring any more joy into our lives. We can't bring any more pleasure. There's nothing else to bring in, because we have bottomed out in both ways. We're not willing to do the deeper work, and so thus we are not willing to step deeper into our pleasure, into our joy. And I feel like I've been a broken record lately on shadow work and stepping into more pleasure and joy. And I know I'm a sex queen here, but this goes for our sex as well. In Orgasm Camp, I always talk about how when women are releasing their genitals, like all the held up, pent up emotions and things in their genitals, a lot of times we have to go from pain to numb to pleasure, or from numb to pain to pleasure, or a combination, but you have to go through pain. And I think a lot of times people go, oh, I have to work hard, it has to be hard, it has to be painful. And that's not really what we're talking about here. When I say you have to go through the pain, you have to go through the darkness, that doesn't mean that you have to be splayed out on the floor, like crying your eyes out. It means that you have to be willing to look at the stuff that you don't necessarily enjoy looking at. It's not fun. It's not exciting. But this is the stuff that really gets us to our pleasure. Last night, it was beautiful because there was so much laughter, but there was so many tears as well, as we dug into points in our lives where we felt suspended in our pleasure, whether that was suspended in our pleasure in a positive, so suspended in our pleasure and like this was such an amazing moment, or suspended in our pleasure in that we knew that our pleasure threshold was about to go down. We knew that nothing would ever be as good as this for a little bit of time. We really dug into that, and what we started to really uncover was that so much of our pleasure is held back by that inner voice, the voice that we take from others of, you're not good enough, you're not worth it, you have to work harder, you have to do more, lots of not enoughs, lots of not worthies. And that is what was stealing the entire group's pleasure. And I can tell you from working with clients for years and years and years now, that is what steals our pleasure. The not enoughs, the not good enoughs, the not worthies, the not doing enough, not being enough. All of these not enoughs, all of these voices that other people throughout our lives have given us, these are the things that we have actually internalized ourselves. These are the things that truly hold us back from our pleasure. And so when I say you have to go into the darkness, it's looking at that stuff that's still ingrained in your head and going like, yeah, I see that. And I'm not willing to let it control me anymore. I see it. I see where it comes from. I'm going to heal that. And then I'm going to look towards the joy. I'm going to look towards the pleasure. I'm going to refocus my energy over here. I'm going to choose again. I'm going to choose more towards love, towards compassion for self, towards the person I know I can be. Because the truth is, compassion and love towards self isn't always going, it's okay, you don't have to do that. It's okay, you don't have to look at that. That's not love towards self. Self-love is doing the shit that you know you need to do because that is where your soul is calling you. That is where you need to clean things up so you can really touch into self. That is self-love. It's not bubble baths. It's not going, oh, well, I'm tired today, so I'm just going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. No, yes, sometimes that is. Sometimes that is self-love. Sometimes that is self-care. But the true self-love and self-care really comes in when we go, no, I'm not going to allow that negative thought to control me anymore. I see it, and now I'm going to go and freaking heal it. And I'm going to look at it, and then I'm going to move beyond it. I'm going to move beyond it because I'm going to choose again. I'm going to choose something else. I'm going to choose to refocus over here because I know I'm stronger than this bullshit ego stuff going on. And that's the work. That's the work that we need to do. And there's several people who are like, no, I don't understand this joy. I've never been up here, or it's been so long since I've been up here. It's hard for me to really get in there and even share with you like how to get there because I'm so far from it. And it was beautiful because in truth, if we are doing the inner work, if connecting with self, if we are looking at our stuff, the only way is up. The only way is up. If we are paying attention to our gratitudes, if we are journaling our butts off and getting all that negative stuff, witnessing our egos, the only thing that can happen is the sun to rise. We can only go upwards. We can only go from that darkness to a light. There's nowhere else to go because if you're doing the gratitudes, if you are really tapping into self, I promise you that joy, that light, that abundance will come to you. And if you are like, no, but I'm working at it, you might be working too hard at it. You might be working too hard at it. You might not just be surrendering into your healing, surrendering into your growth, surrendering into your beauty. You might be working too hard. So though we need to face ourselves and witness ourselves and look in the mirror and see the beautiful person in the mirror and see the stuff that you're like, we need to change that. I don't hate myself. That's not what I'm saying. But look in the mirror and go, I'm better than this. I'm better than this. And I'm going to choose to be better than this. If we don't choose to do that stuff, and you're like, I'm working at it, then you're not really working. You're not surrendering into it. Yes, it is this harmonizing process of like doing the physical actions such as the journaling, the reading, the going to your coaching appointments, all that. But if you don't internalize it, if you don't connect with it, then it's nothing. It's not worth it. If you're not surrendering into the knowledge, if you're not truly witnessing, and if you're just not slowing yourself down enough to really, really give yourself credit for the beautiful work you are doing, the beautiful work you really are doing, then you're not going to touch into that joy. You're not going to touch into the pleasure. I ask people all the time to do gratitude work. I'm a huge advocate of gratitude work. I do gratitude work every single day on my own for myself, and I ask my clients to also do a lot of gratitude work. And a lot of times I'll ask them, when was the last time you included yourself? Are you grateful for yourself? Are you grateful for your body? Are you grateful for your spirit, your soul, your energy? Are you? And if you're not noting it, then are you really grateful for it? If you're not taking time to appreciate it, are you really grateful for it? Because the truth is, if we're doing our work, the sun will rise. We just have to do the work. We have to be willing and courageous enough, and it is courage, it is true courage, to look at those vulnerable pieces. I saw so much fucking courage last night. I mean, it made my heart just want to soar to see all these beautiful souls coming together and not just taking my lead. Yes, I was leading the workshop, but really guiding each other and seeing each other's stuckness and helping each other move through. It was so juicy and so orgasmic. It really was, to just watch everybody working together to support each other and move everybody to a greater state of pleasure and joy and passion. So, if you did not have the opportunity to join me in that, you can still move forward. You can still get to that pleasure place. Just know that there is going to be the uncomfortable, the painful that you have to go through. And that's okay. And as long as you keep your eye on your love and your compassion, you're going to get through it. And the sun will rise, and it can't stay dark forever. It can't. It won't. I promise you. So, if you want more of my coaching, and usually I talk more about sex and sexy things, and this wasn't super sexy, but the truth is, if you want deep, meaningful sex and deep, meaningful relationships, then the truth is you also need to be doing this work. This is imperative to any of us, any work in any area of our lives. I'm a tantric practitioner, and that means the entire being. That means their entire being. And so if you want to know more about this, I have a holiday special going on right now. It is The Elves Made Me Do It, so you can check out my coaching. I am quickly filling up for the beginning of 2020, so jump in there if you are interested. addisonbell.net. There is a holiday madness sale tab. You can just click on that and read all about that. I'll be in Austin for the Austin Tantra Festival on Friday and Saturday this week. So if you have not gotten your tickets and you're in the area, please do that. It's going to be an amazing event. Other than that, I hope you guys just have an amazing rest of your day. Go love yourselves. Go look at your shit. But have deep love, compassion, and gratitude for self and just the life that you live. We all have such beauty and amazing things in our lives. So go just appreciate, just for 5 minutes today, just sit and just appreciate your life. So, all right, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow for another Addison Unleashed. Mwah! Bye, guys.